Well, hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of Flee the Light. Let's do it. Flee the Light is a horror thriller from director Alexandra Senza. The film stars Annie Tuma, Ariana Marquis, Jamar Adams Thompson, and Jane Sibbery. A psychology student attempts to cure her sister's crippling psychosis, only to expose them both to its origin, an ancient creature intent on claiming their souls. So welcome back to my ongoing coverage of the Blood in the Snow Film Festival, which celebrates Canadian horror and other genre fare. I have other reviews from the festival up on my channel now, so check them out if you're looking for some horror stuff that's maybe not on your radar yet. And of course, I'll leave a link to the festival's website in the description. Now, like pretty much everything from this festival, I went into this one cold. I hadn't seen a trailer, hadn't seen a poster, I just read the synopsis. And I'll say this straight up, let's just rip off the band-aid. I didn't like this movie very much. But it should be noted, and I'll come back to this, but this movie was clearly shot on a very, very small budget, and I think it's only fair to keep that in mind, particularly when I talk about the visual effects. But as per usual, we'll talk about what was good and what didn't work for me. I should also mention that the screenplay was written by first-time screenwriter Jennifer Mancini, and the movie was directed by first-time director Alexandra Senza. And admittedly, it shows. I don't mean that to come across as mean, everyone's got to start somewhere. And there was enough intrigue in this flick that I'm curious as to what this duo will do next if they work together again. But I will say there are some lines of dialogue in here that really don't land, and the performances work sometimes, other times not so much. I did very much like the cinematography for most of this movie. It's moody, it makes great use of the forest. It's got some really cool camera work, including a couple of cool pans that eventually reveal something. I dug all that very much. My only issue with the cinematography was we do get some flashbacks to an unknown time, but clearly a very long time ago. And I feel like those sequences could have benefited from a little bit more color grading to differentiate between then and now. As I mentioned, the performances are pretty decent. They're not great. Tuma and Marquis do the best they can with what's given to them, and they both have moments that are really quite impressive. That said, Tuma has a recurring sequence that takes place underwater, and it just came across as comical to me every time. Rounding out the cast, we have Jamar Adams Thompson, who plays a love interest that I didn't buy at all. I didn't really like him in the flick. And finally, Canadian singer-songwriter Jane Sibbery, who plays this kind of mystical character, and that didn't work for me either. I like her as a singer. I don't think she's done that much acting, and I feel like she was just really miscast in the role. Also, this is not a knock on the movie, just my brain making stupid connections, but I couldn't get past it. I don't know if it was the makeup or the hair, but every time she was on screen, I couldn't help but think of Artemis from Always Sunny. One thing I did really appreciate about this flick was the inclusion of Canadian rock band The Tea Party's song Sister Awake, which not only has lyrical relevance to the sequence, but the song itself also has this kind of autumnal feel that works really well with this Canadian modern folk horror. Admittedly, I did find the film's premise to be pretty silly, and at no point did I find it scary. As I alluded to earlier, the makeup and visual effects in here are not great, but I do think it's fair that we consider budgetary restraints. And it sounds like I'm really bagging on this movie, so let me say this. Sure, I didn't like it very much, but at the same time, I really do admire it. First-time screenwriter, first-time director, both women, both Canadian. Awesome. They had this idea, they were given a shoestring budget, and they just went F it and made it happen. I think that deserves a lot of respect, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna give Flee the Light. And I think I'm gonna give Flee the Light a
drink up, ladies. It helps your prostate.
out of 10. So now I want to know, have you seen Flee the Light? What did you think about it? What's your favorite folk horror film of all time? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. Just helps the video reach more people, helps the channel grow. I appreciate it very much. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, click subscribe and ring that bell to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, Blood in the Snow, all that good stuff. Hope you guys are all safe and healthy. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Take care.